for Evasion. This is from Schneider on Security. Bruce Schneider, considered one of the fathers of the internet. The details of this article. Let's observe. NYC. Oh, fuck yo shit. I'm not going to disable my ad blocker. You can slug my balls. Okay, Slugma, great Pokemon. NYC subway using AI to track fare evasion. A MTA spokesperson said the software doesn't flag fare evaders to New York police, but declines to comment on whether that policy could change. Because they will. These are lost charges. The MTA and the New York City Police Department are sucking each other off. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, 100%, man. 100%. They're plain-clothed cops inside of New York City subway stations who are just waiting for fare evaders. They're just there to see this guy open the door to let his buddy in so that they can arrest them both.
NYC subway using AI to track fare evasion. An MTA spokesperson said the software doesn't flag fare evaders to New York police, but declined to comment on whether that policy could change.
Bro, is this criminalized being poor? Yeah, in Toronto? Yeah, definitely. I'm not surprised. Toronto's just New York City light. You know, it's New York City, sparkling New York City. You know what I mean? A man climbs over the subway's turnstile in New York Station in New York on June 5th. See, why are you taking a picture of him? You know, they're just looking to beat on people of color. Yeah, and make money off of them. Make money off of criminalizing poverty. You know, put these people in jail. You know what I mean? Number go up, so we need more resources because look at all these black people doing crime that we need to brutalize.
Surveillance software that uses artificial intelligence to spot people evading fares has been quietly rolled out to some of New York City's subway stations.
Not even just black people, just poor people. Poor New Yorkers getting fucked.
The end of the year, according to public documents and government contracts obtained by NBC News. The system.
I jumped the turnstile when I was like 16.
The system, which the city and its transit authority haven't previously acknowledged by name, uses third-party software that its maker has touted as a way to engage law enforcement to help crack down on fare evasion. The system was in use in 7 subway stations in May, according to a report on fare evasion published online by the Metropolitan Transit Authority, which oversees New York City's public transportation. The MTA expects that by the end of the year, the system will expand by approximately 24 more stations, with more to follow, the report says. The report also found that the MTA lost $690 million to fare evasion in 2022. The report
I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that, bro.
Joanna Flores, an MTA spokesperson.
And okay, if they're so concerned, maybe give this shit over to the state because the MTA hasn't updated, fixed, you know, solved anything. Maybe give it over to the fucking state. Maybe nationalize this shit. Fuck all this like private corp bullshit. They're paying their execs huge salaries. They haven't updated the system at all. Most of it's still analog, and come on, delays, shutdowns. Like I think everyone who's ever lived in New York knows how garbage the MTA is. Yeah, hop that fucking turnstile. This shit is garbage, and they're robber barons. They're fucking At least they hid the face a little bit, but they're fucking robber barons. Double the cops in Toronto subway, and somehow the number of people jumping the tracks on the tracks. Wait, jumping on the tracks? Jumping onto like the tracks. Like you're saying chop suey. They're doing a chop suey. Is that what you're saying, bro? They're doing chop suey by System of a Down. Yeah, then police are obviously okay. Police beat the shit. There was just a huge settlement. Police beat the shit out of peaceful protesters. They kettled them. They did the kettling tactic. Yeah, our cops are pushing them. Wow. Disgusting, bro. Disgusting, bro.
Tim Minton, the MTA's communications director, said the system tracks fare evasion to figure out how much money the subway isn't collecting. We're using it essentially as a counting tool, Minton said. The objective is to determine how many people are evading the fare and how are they doing it.
I don't believe him at all.
Minton said the videos are stored on the MTA's servers and are kept for a limited period. New York Governor Kathy Hochul's office announced last year that the city's transit systems had more than 10,000 surveillance cameras.
I think everyone knows that there's surveillance cameras all throughout. Yeah, but now we're supplementing them with AI. I bet there's going to be facial recognition, bro. There's going to be facial recognition. They're going to find people with priors and they're going to be arresting people. So if you for example, have done a crime in the past, maybe you don't even know that you did a crime in the past, maybe you ran a traffic light and you didn't get a ticket, like there have been instances of this all the time. So die die, the police are going to come and have a confrontation, and they're going to beat your ass for fare evasion and for a ticket or a prior that you didn't even know that you had, or that's still in the system and shouldn't be in the system and should have been wiped.
Use of the software adds to what some privacy advocates see as a growing surveillance apparatus developing in New York City.
I've told you guys that the Pentagon and the CIA have said that they have perfected facial recognition technology, and they say they want to roll it out to every single American street corner, and they want to replace every single traffic light. The traffic light cameras, they want to replace all of them with facial recognition enabled technology. Prepare to be guilty until proven innocent, folks.
This is a moment where movement around the city has never been more surveilled, said Albert Fox
Thank you,
the
AI.
director
Thank
of
you,
the
facial
Surveillance
recognition.
Technology
Thank you.
Oversight Project,
So safe.
a nonprofit legal group
Police
that
state.
advocates
Totally not a
for
police
privacy
state.
rights in New York City.
Totally not an invasion of your privacy. Totally a police state. And then people are going to be like, well, you have no reasonable expectation of privacy in public. Yeah, bro. That's the excuse I use for my live streaming when I'm out with my backpack. But if you're constantly being checked against a database of people to see whether or not you're a criminal, we already know that facial recognition systems are imperfect. The facial recognition technology recognized that Amazon has been selling to police departments around the United States and around the world are trained predominantly on certain types of faces. And that results in certain biases. A ton of U.S. senators were misidentified as criminals. I'll allow you to guess what their phenotypes look like. What do their phenotypes look like, chat? Do you know?
We've seen data collection on Uber and Lyft histories.
Yep.
We see tens of thousands of cameras accessible to the NYPD.
Yeah, you're always searched.
People
You're
are
always
walking about
seized.
in
Welcome
public,
to New York,
Ken
baby.
said. So it's increasingly becoming a city where there's no way to navigate it privately.
Nope, unless you're rich. Unless you're a rich fucknugget.
The software was created by the Spanish company Y8.
I wouldn't say it's inherently racist, but it's usually trained off of racial features, which results in white and Asian faces getting identified better because the people making this technology often use data sets that are representative of, unfortunately, themselves, even if they realize it or not. Whether it's a conscious or an unconscious bias, they're not training these data points based on features that are defining for other cultures as well, and other ethnicities, other backgrounds, other phenotypes. So it's not that facial recognition is racist, but the implementations of facial recognition that we have right now are race-based, and they're tuned to the hegemony. They're not tuned to, the actual breadth of, human genetic representation.
The software was created by the Spanish company Y8, Flores confirmed. Y8 declined to comment. A promotional video for Y8's Evasion software, created by a Spanish company that operates Barcelona metro trains, depicts a system in which an Y8 system was initially used to scan riders going through the metro system and send photos of people it determined were fare evaders to the smartphones of nearby station agents.
So sending it directly to the cops, they already have the model built out. Don't let them lie to you and tell you that this is about anything else than policing poor people. I'm going to take out my Invisalign and eat this dinner. Thank you, babe. And we're probably going to be playing some puzzles later. I got one more news item to show you, and I promised I would do some interview prep. I should do some interview prep. I should also cut my hair and trim, because that improves my chances of getting a job, unfortunately. You got the cat? Okay, I'm going to take out I'm going to start shaking my booty. Alright, let's see.
Assurances from the MTA that the software wouldn't be used to aid law enforcement have done little to encourage some privacy and civil rights advocates, who were already alarmed over previous efforts to crack down on fare evasion.
I can't smash my keyboard. My keyboards are too heavy. They would break my desk.
In 2019, city police patrol officers were instructed to ticket most fare evaders rather than arrest them if they could provide identification and pass checks through the police department's domain awareness system, a central hub of surveillance and crime information overseen by the NYPD Counterterrorism Bureau. New York has increased the number of police officers stationed in subway stations since last year, and arrests have steadily risen, as well. The police department has historically arrested Black and Latino riders for fare evasion at far greater rates than those of other races, prompting allegations of racism.
Also, we gotta look at economic circumstances. There are reasons why people are evading fares.
Molly Greiford, a staff attorney at the Legal Aid Society, a law firm that advocates for social justice, said enforcing fare evasion often ends up targeting the poor.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate that rather than thinking about how the city and state can be making these services more available, more accessible to the public, they're spending all this time and money on enforcement mechanisms to try to get money from the lowest income New Yorkers, Greiford said.
Yeah,
a heavily redacted MTA contract for the ICE system from July 2022 which can acquired through a Freedom of Information law request and shared with NBC News, shows that the system was first tested in New York City in 2020, with more stations added in 2021. The exact number of stations is redacted. GovSpend, a database of government spending records, shows that the MTA made 2 purchases in 2021 for a YH video analytics fair evasion software, for a combined $35,335. Figures for 2022 weren't available.
They're increasing the cameras. They're increasing the police in the station. I bet you they're increasing their utilization of this analysis as well.
Can said the use of the technology to try to track fare evasion illustrated misguided priorities.
Yep.
We keep seeing this consistent criminalization of fare evasion even though it hurts no one,
Nobody
he
at all.
said. And this really just feels like politics driving bad technology and bad policy.
Exactly. It's garbage. It's absolutely garbage. This is criminalizing being poor and marginalizing people further. Dope, bruh. Hey, thank you for the follow. Yo, we got 53 on Kick now. We need 22. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yo, what's up, Al? Talking about the New York City Police Department and a company and the MTA, a Spanish company and the MTA using AI to track fare evasion. They say they're not going to forward information to the police, but this company already has a prototype for that, and that has been deployed already. New York's transit system has 10,000 surveillance cameras. They are using AI to track fare evaders. We've already seen data collection in Uber and Lyft, right, in New York City, tens of thousands of cameras, so they can, monitor when people are walking about in public, guilty until proven innocent. There's no way to navigate privately, unfortunate. And we all know AI, due to its training, due to the specific phenotypes it's trained on, actually misidentify people of color at higher rates. They spent $35,000 on this last year, and now they're spending even more this year. Numbers for this year are not available intentionally, of course. New York Police Department is refusing to elaborate, comment, etc. And historically, obviously these programs have targeted Black and Latino riders for fare evasions. They're usually put in places like Broadway Junction. They're put in the Bronx. These cops are hanging out, plain clothed, etc. and waiting to arrest poor people for, the crime of not being able to afford a trip to work so that they can continue to live in the rat race. Incredible, wonderful, gotta love it. New York.